the number one mistake I see a lot of people making with their diet is that they're actually choosing a diet plan or they're choosing a workout plan. And I'm coming to you from my agenda for one reason only. I was listening to this podcast on the way home, and the highlight was on this new book called The Nutrition Bible, I think, or Nutrition Guide. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll put the link in the notes. Anyway, it's something that this our society has needed for so long. I'm so excited about it. I'm actually, once I'm done here, I want to go check it out, see if I can get it on Amazon. Um, but I couldn't get it out of my head as I was working out. So I know I don't normally come to you straight from a workout, but here we are. And one thing that they really harp on with this book is that diet and your nutrition is very unique to you. Many of the people listening have either tried a plan strictly or have considered trying a plan strictly because they feel like it is the thing that they need. Now, outside of FODMAP foods, uh, the foods that you'll find on an autoimmune diet or autoimmune protocol, things on a why can't I think? Because I've just burned out on my face all over now. The things that you will see on, diets that you have to follow if there's a specific reason. Now, here's the deal. All those are lists of food that you either need to make sure you include or you avoid high BTMAP. It doesn't mean that if you're going to go for candida, that's what I was thinking of. So let's say you have a candida issue, okay, which a lot of the symptoms, just in case you don't know, they mirror those with leaky gut. Leaky gut is a little bit more extreme. You feel a little bit more sick, feel a little bit more uneasy, nauseous. That leads to autoimmune conditions. If you reach autoimmune condition, then that means you are effectively sick all the time. You don't know why. You're going to doctors, or you haven't even reached that point yet. You just know that you're sick a lot. You don't really know why. And there has to be a reason, right? So you reach this point and you're trying to go for a specific diet. So let's go with candida. All right. One of the top symptoms is you crave sugar all the time because the little buggies in your gut want to be fed. There's a lot of them. They need sugar, they need glucose because they want to thrive. They don't want to give up your belly. Your belly is a great little home. It's comfy, it's cozy. They don't want to leave, right? Well, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to eat a carnivorous diet or you have to eat an omnivore diet or a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet or intermittent fasting or any of the 50 billion plans that are out there. That's not what that means. It just means that you have to make sure you minimize the amount of sugar going into your diet, including sugar from foods like healthy foods, carrots, fruit. So when you're on a candida plan, you actually don't eat a lot of oranges. You don't eat grapes. I actually recommend for my clients who need to avoid or need to get rid of that candida overgrowth. I recommend they avoid oranges. That they recommend avoid carrots, avoid tomatoes, avoid watermelon, avoid corn. These are things that are easily converted into glucose. So your body feeds candida when you consume them, right? And the whole point to that is it's not that you have to eat vegan or you have to eat this way or that way. The number one way to reach optimal health is truly figuring out what your body signals are. That's really all it means. And if you need help, that's why there's testing. So with our big program, we actually offer and include the biome test. And the deal with the biome testing is they give you a full panel. They test your blood, they test your stool, and they test saliva. Okay. Check my body health, those can. Between the two, We get a lot of answers. There's a number of other sources out there that you can use to help you figure it out. What you're looking for in testing is nutrigenomics. Okay. What that is that is the science of genetics as it relates to each individual person. So I'm always talking about biochemical individuality, right? Well, nutrigenomics helps you figure out what your biochemical individuality is. It helps you figure out what you need to eat, how you need to eat, and what's going on inside your body. And these are tests that you can get through your doctor. You don't have to necessarily come through us. Some people actually do because we're trying to figure out what they're actually reacting to. And a lot of tests that you can get through a doctor, unless they're a functional doctor, that's a little bit different. Uh, they're not going to give you a full food panel. They're not going to look at things. So Check My Body Health gives you red, yellow indicators. For over 900, I think maybe 1,000 now. I want to say it's like 970, 960, 970, 900 plus foods, right? With bio, I think the full panel is like 400 plus. Between one of the two of those, we can look at things and go, all right, so look at what you're actually eating. Take a log for a week. And yes, I use logs. I do not use them as 100% forever thing, but I do use logs. Okay. You use a log to figure out where your missing puzzle pieces are. Between your log, you being mindful, a couple of testing here and there, and the lab test, we can at least figure out a middle ground. And that's what we're going for when we first start working together. That's what a lot of health practitioners look for. They're just trying to get you to zero. They're trying to get you to neutral so that you can reach balance and optimal health. Okay. Optimal health doesn't occur if optimal health doesn't occur if you are not starting at zero. You can, but you got to pass zero to get to optimal health. You have to. So if we can just get you to balance, whatever that means in your current state, in your current life, then we can take that to the next level. I'm still in my own healing journey. I put my body basically through hell for years. And I ended up with two beautiful, wonderful miracles. We've finally gotten some sort of semblance of balance within my hormones over the last couple of months. And now I'm seeing the results that I wanted to see 2 years ago. Sometimes the journey is alone. It's frustrating. It is annoying. But if you are diligent, you can do it. If you're struggling, here's the thing. I have not struggled with anything more than I have weight from fertility and from having the boys, pregnancy, twin pregnancy, and postpartum with the boys. That has to go. Can't do that. Um, and a lot of it's bloating and swelling. And it seems like every time I turn around, I'm having a sensitivity to another food. Well, it turns out there's hormone imbalance. And it happens when you inject your body with hormones off and on for 7 years, and then you turn around and you have twins. Oh, your body's kind of wrecked. So it takes a while. And a lot of times what happens, it's like a relationship. They always say, psychologists always say that if you're in a 2-year relationship, it's going to take at least a year to heal, right? Half the duration of a relationship to fully 100% heal. But you feel like you heal much earlier than that, right? This is no different. And I think the biggest takeaway I want you to walk away from this podcast with is there is no one diet form. There's no one thing, one way of eating that's going to get you 100% results, except figuring out what your body needs. Now, if you're keto or you're paleo or you're eating an Atkins style diet, then you're gonna need to make sure you get certain nutrients into your diet because you're not gonna get them in your regular eating, right? But let's say eating paleo, your body thrives in, right? It thrives when you eat paleo. So these few things that you're missing, you can either supplement them or get them from whole food. I always recommend whole food, but like me, I struggle with absorbing vitamin B, right? All of that. B12 specifically, um, that one seems to be the one of the ones that I have to supplement the most. I get it with the whole foods that I eat, but it doesn't absorb, it doesn't metabolize as well as somebody else's body would metabolize it. So I had to supplement. And I can feel the days that I have to. It's not that I need it every single day. Um, and when you eat a certain way, like when you eat vegan, you have to supplement with certain things. Some people are, they're low in vitamin B, they're low in magnesium, which is kind of crazy because you're eating all vegetables, they're full of magnesium, right? But it's been happening left and right where people are not absorbing and metabolizing the amount of magnesium that they need. And the challenge with magnesium is, it's a challenge with a lot of micronutrients. There's not necessarily one test to tell you you are deficient in this form of magnesium, this strand. You would have to take and to you can get multiple tests to test each and every strain, but there's like 10 of them. So, that's a lot of tests, a lot of one to eat it. That's a lot of stuff you really don't necessarily need. I'm gonna link below the magnesium I use. I use magnesium bracer, I think is what it's called. I'm not affiliate, there's not an affiliate link. It's just it has a complete comprehensive makeup of all of magnesium if you're feeling exhausted for whatever reason. The thing with magnesium, you want to make sure you have vitamin D. If you're deficient in magnesium, you're generally deficient in vitamin D. So you need both. In order for one to be absorbed, magnesium doesn't absorb without vitamin D. All right. So that all tirade. The thing with trying to figure out how and what helps your body the most. I don't want to say it's necessarily trial and error. Like I said, you can do a lot of nutrigenomics, you can do some testing outside of that, and really figure out the things that your body is deficient in. That helps you really give you a starting foothold on identifying what path you should take in this phase of life. Please keep in mind that each phase of our life dictates that we need to eat slightly differently. We need to make adjustments based on where we're living, what our lifestyle is, what's happening in our bodies. Right now, I'm at the age where perimenopause is a thing. Plus, I just had twins 3.5 years ago. So I don't know a hormone crap rolling around in this body. And on top of that, the biggest challenge to my diet right now is time. I noticed over time that as the boys get into this toddler phase and want to do everything for themselves, it is a challenge in a much different way. You have to be cognizant of everything that they're doing, right? Drew started biting Keegan randomly and hard bites, you guys, hard bites. And I noticed he bit him the other day, and this is now 4 bucks. 4. You got tips for that? I'm all ears because biting him back, get more. We're reading the books, we're doing all the things. Uh, so any suggestions, let me know. But I noticed that what happens is Drew looks around for us. And I don't know that he necessarily understands why he's biting. You just know it's body. So in this stage of life, here's why this is a challenge. Because I have to constantly be vigilant and be aware, pay attention to them. And that focus on them takes away from my ability to focus on making sure I take care of me. So they're at daycare and preschool until about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Can you get where I'm going with this? I'm not a huge fan of intermittent fasting because it doesn't work for my body. Doesn't mean it doesn't work for you. But it's not that it doesn't work for my body, it doesn't work for my brain. My brain doesn't like eating in as intermittent fasting. It doesn't like it. But because of these challenges I've been trying it the last couple of weeks. And in this phase in my life, it is really helping me. It's helping me stay energized. It's helping me stay focused. My brain fog is gone. I'm not eating, and this is the crucial element. I am not starving when the boys go to bed because while I made dinner, eating dinner was a challenge. Eating it, not making it, eating it. Because I make my food the same time that the boys eat. And then 50 million things happen when they're eating. And they do better when I sit and I eat with them. But literally, it's like the cold coffee thing in the morning. You have a couple of bites and then you have to go do something or you have to, help them with something. And there's two of them, you guys. Not one, two. So those challenges, I put me on the back burner. Well, a way that I've learned over the last couple of weeks to put me in the front is I do it all while they're at school. I'm still running my own business. I'm still there for clients. I still have the wherewithal. I have the space. I have the bucket to hold my clients, to support them, and to service them in a way that meets their needs while also making sure I get mine. So I eat the bulk of my food while they're at school between 10 and 4. Okay. And from 4 to 6, I either make a salad with a smoothie or I just make a smoothie and I'll drink the smoothie as I'm sitting there with them at dinner. The biggest reason why, and that's about 6:30, 7 o'clock, right? They leave for school at 8. That gives me from 8 to 10, take a shower, make food, work out, journal, do my mindset and my emotional stability. I did not do any of that yesterday. And by 2 o'clock, I was wrecked. I was a complete wreck. And it's making me tear up because those are things I put into place for my mental well being the first year because I didn't have postpartum depression. I had postpartum anxiety. I've never had anxiety before in my life, guys. Like I've had really stressful times, but I not had anxiety that I could not control. Um, and that's what I notice on the days that I don't take that time for me, I have that anxiety. So for me right now, diet wise, what works is my usual plant based, because plant based for me, 80% plant based, it's the thing for me. It's the thing for a lot of my clients. But not everybody. Not everybody. The joy of the things that I do, the joy of the programs that I've created with the help of all the clients and the beta testers over the last 3 or 4 years is that they're designed to help you start listening to your body's signals, which is the point of any health transformation, is you want to make sure you listen to your body's signals. And learning to do so involves learning about the human body. You do not need to go and get a degree like I did. We put it all out there for you. It is step by step by step, and it's within the Personal Health Mastery series. Okay, it's in the reset, it's in the restore, it's in the rejuvenation. You might only need the reset. You might only need the restore. Most people need reset, restore, rejuvenation, which is why we package them together. You can get them all a la carte too. It's cool. The whole everything we have done, everything we put together, even things that we're working on for January. One of the missions I have for January is I want to start physical training again. I want to start training you guys again. But I have to get to a healthy place myself where I feel worthy of teaching those classes. So we're getting it as part of, finding that balance of my hormones as part of where we are. But the purpose of all of it was to help you to figure out what's best for you. For me, right now, that 80% plant-based and intermittent fasting, I'm eating between 10 and 6, 7, give or take, but usually it's between 10 and 6. And it's working well for me right now. I still wake up and have these thoughts like, oh, I need to eat. But trying to get them ready, trying to get them out the door to go to school, it's not that easy. I can't eat and do that. I mean, I probably could, but it creates more stress for me than I think is necessary for my morning. So I used a principle that I know is out there. I use a principle I know that works for many people. Um, and in this phase of life, this is what I'm doing. If you ask me what my diet of choice is, I always say flexitarian. Mostly because as a society, we put way too much emphasis on you have to eat like this brand new best-selling book that just came out. There are thousands upon thousands of best-selling diet and nutrition books out there. There are billions of people in this world. We are not the same. We have fingerprints that give us unique identifiers. Our DNA is a unique identifier. My DNA and my fingerprints, they're not like yours. You are as a unique individual as I am. And your diet and your health practices should be equally as unique. I'm going to end this actually on that because that's a really cool statement. Create something that is unique to you. Okay. And stop worrying about what Jade or Joe or even whoever Sally down the street is doing. Look at what you're doing. Look at the things that are working well, the positives. And if you need help with that, if you're not able to see them, have a look, put it in your phone, put it on stickies. Don't care. Write down all the positives. Write down things like I had, a sandwich with avocado and cucumbers on it. My body loved it. Put smiley faces. However it works for you. Whatever makes it easy for you to identify these little things, that's what works for you. That's what's best for you. And when you find what works well for you, then now instead of it being this challenging uphill battle, you are balanced. You're able to address your needs, your family needs, including these fur babies. You're able to address everything else so much easier, right? So take a step back, take a deep breath. If you need help, reach out. We have a free consultation. We have a community full of people who will happily support you unconditionally. You can vent, you can talk, we can figure things out. I mean, effectively, if you call us, you're going to get one question. Do you need someone to listen? Do you need advice? Or do you need a collaborator? Those are your options. And your health is uniquely yours. So, cheers for post-workout thoughts. I hope you guys have a great week. We are back next week with a wonderful episode. Kate Simpson's going to be joining us. And Kate is actually paired with us on our one-on-one rejuvenation program. It is our top of the line. It's our BRP program. She's trying to help us, and we're figuring it out. We are going to figure this out, you guys. We are going to figure out a way of including her healing abilities into the reset, the restore, and the rejuvenation. The hybrid programs, self-paced programs. Uh, we're figuring out. We're gonna figure something out because with her talents and KJ and I, we've created this comprehensive healing modality, really, that helps you align with you and what she said. We're going to figure it out. I don't know if anybody heard that big old snore, but this lovely, beautiful lad just snorted what off. And yeah, we're gonna figure it out. So listen in next week. You will hear all about Kate. We're gonna talk about energetics and how the energy in your world and your body, your spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, all of the energy within your world and your sphere that makes you you, how it can be improved, how it impacts you, and the little tidbits throughout your day that you can do to improve it. So come on back next week. If you're new here, you know what to do. There's a bell, there's a subscribe. If you're watching YouTube, you got this. Thank you for listening to my post workout rambling. Have a good week, you guys. Cheers.